folks, Craig Lavati here with the Houston Museum of Natural Science. This is, of course, the HMNS Beyond Bones podcast. I am joined by my co-host, Kat Havens. Kat, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Craig. How are you?
Good. Are you enjoying the fact that this podcast now is on all these other different apps that you can brag about?
It's really kind of exciting. I bragged about it in a intra-departmental meeting the other day, and people were actually writing down and like getting on their phones to.
They're like, "What is Spotify? Is this? Do you have to pay for that? What is Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anything you can listen to a podcast on, including Spreaker and of course YouTube. Where it all started was on YouTube, where you see our shining faces. Today, we are talking to Kelsey Friedman. She is the Director of Youth Education for, the Houston Museum of Natural Science, of course. We have a really cool slew of programming coming up starting April 1st, where if you're watching this, it's already been April 1st. You've already been April Fooled, so that's in the past. But for the whole month of April, we are celebrating Earth with our Celebration Earth programming. Kelsey, how are you doing?
I am doing great. We're excited because with Celebration Earth, we are able to celebrate more than just Earth Day, and we're able to extend that and give more attention to certain other features about the Earth that make it really exciting. So we don't have to squish it all into 24 hours. We have the opportunity to spread it out over 30 days, and I think that makes it really fun. So we're excited for all of our programming that we have coming up for that.
What day is Earth Day in 2022?
I believe it's April 22nd. I just looked at my calendar and I want to say it's April 22nd and I want to say it's a Friday, and that checks out mentally and all the other dates I have stored in my head. So yeah, it's towards the end of the month. So you'll have a lot of lead time with us to prepare for that. And then a couple days after that to enjoy the rest of our programming in addition to your regularly scheduled Earth Day activities.
So it's pretty much April 1st to May 1st. We're celebrating Earth. And, obviously at HMNS, between the Herman Park campus and the Sugar Land campus, guys, we always do things way bigger. We always do things crazier. And so that's why we're taking a whole month to celebrate Earth. I guess we started doing this a few years ago, and it's just really exciting. Every single year, the program is starting to snowball and become a little bit more engaging, obviously. We have so many different tentacles at the museum that we can sort of grab people with. What do we have going on this year?
So I want to start by highlighting a really fun event we have. One at both locations, Herman Park and Sugar Land. At our Herman Park location on Saturday, April 9th, we're going to have a Earth Day Festival. So we'll have opportunities for families to come in and do some activities and crafts relating to Earth Day. We'll even have some Earth Day giveaways for some of our theater shows and planetarium shows. So there's a lot of ways to get involved on that day. And that runs from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on April 9th at HMNS Herman Park. But if you live closer to our Sugar Land location, we also have a really fun activity happening there. We are going to be making stickers to kind of highlight windows. So the background is a lot of birds that are migrate through Houston. And one of the problems they have is that windows are something that they can't see super well. So by putting these stick clings to your window, you give them a sense of visibility that something's coming. And so it helps prevent some injuries that can happen as a result of migrating birds running into windows. So there's this activity where they make this anti-collision window sticker that you can make and take with you and then use at your home. So that's
at Sugar Land.
That will be happening in Sugar Land.
Yeah.
Okay. At HMNS downtown, we're also going to have like a collaborative public art project.
That's right. Yeah, Kat, thanks for bringing that up. We will have a way for anybody who comes that day to kind of participate in this recycling kind of abstract, amorphous art project that's going to look really cool. I know that description probably wasn't the best, but it's cooler than you think. And so it's kind of taking materials that we aren't even able to recycle or we have too much of and turning it into something that's more useful, like public art and things like that.
And there's a scavenger hunt too, an Earth Day scavenger hunt that you can participate in through the halls as well.
An inside scavenger hunt and an outside scavenger hunt because we are also part of Herman Park. And so we have some exterior scavenging that you can do around the outside of the museum, some internal scavenger hunt, and then all of that is included with your permanent exhibit hall ticket. So it's free for our members.
It's a huge bonus.
The scavenger hunt's all month long too. So it's not just April 9th. You can do the scavenger hunt all year long, honestly, if you really wanted to, especially with Herman Park. We're so lucky to be, inside Herman Park, and our friends at the Conservancy. We've had them here on the show before, and we're lucky to have each other. So we're really, and there's so many cool things at Herman Park too. That's another story for another podcast, but you guys know, check out the old Herman Park podcast, and you'll learn more about Herman Park than you ever needed to know.
You didn't know you wanted to know.
Or you didn't want to know, or you should know. I don't know. Just learn about Herman Park. Kelsey, there's also the return of Gaia inside the Glassell Hall at HMNS. If you guys remember back in, I think it was 2020 when we debuted this. It was a very strange time, to say the least. We debuted Luke Jerram's giant Earth installation. If you guys love the moon that we have up sometimes at Glassell Hall, it's just Earth. Instead of the moon, it's Earth. And it's just really, I like to think it shows off the fragility too of Earth as well, which I think is sort of what we're going for this year as well. There's some programming, especially in the GST and the planetarium, all about the fragility of Earth and the impacts of climate change. And seeing Luke's, I don't even call it a sculpture because it's just a big giant ball. Yeah, it's a sculpture that's lit from inside of Earth.
Sculpture.
An installation covers everything.
That's true. Yeah, see, that's why I'm using the word installation, Kat. That's a PR term we use for everything at once.
I know.
Yeah, it's. I'd like to think that that Luke's piece, though, is his art piece, it's a good focal point for Celebration Earth at HMNS. So we're lucky to have it.
Well, and I love it too because a globe or a three-dimensional kind of map of the Earth is more accurate. So you're able to really see kind of the scale of countries and the scale of weather in a much more clear format, because often maps are skewed and projections are skewed. So you think that Greenland should be the same size as Africa, and that's just not. That's just not.
I remember when we first put up Gaia, I remember walking through, and if anybody knows me, I love walking through and just sort of like overhearing what our patrons say. So if you guys see me walking through the hall, I'm listening. I remember a dad saying, "I think there's too much water on this model. There's no way there's that much water on Earth." I was in the back of my mind, I'm like, "There's actually a lot of water here. Like, that's not fake. It's a real thing." It's really to your all's point about sort of the scale of Earth. There's no better way to show it off.
It's also a great photo op.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's
you can hold the Earth
pictures
up in your hand if you do it right. If you get a friend to help you, you can mount it just so it looks like you're holding up Earth, or you can pinch Earth.
I want it on my shoulder. Atlas.
I had one of those too. I think when we first got Earth, I remember the picture. I have my mask on and I'm holding up Earth. I looked really strong.
Some days I feel like that.
Yes, it's especially after the spring break that we just had here at the museum. Kelsey, can I get an amen on that?
Yeah, it was crazy here. Just crazy, but in a good way.
It's good. It's a good thing. Yeah, we're glad to be busy. What are our? I know we have tons of community partners too this year, included with Celebration Earth, and some previous guests on the show too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so one of ours that we've kind of partnered with for a couple different things, but they're also part of our Earth Day or Celebration Earth celebration, if that's not too repetitive, is Happy Earth Compost. So they have a really cool opportunity for those people who are interested in composting but don't have the time or don't have the space or don't have the will, because those can all be valid reasons to not compost at their own personal locations. So Happy Earth allows you to basically, it's like a garbage pickup for your compost. Mm-hmm. So they do a really good job, and compost is a really easy way to reduce your waste and reduce the amount of methane produced in landfills. So all around, composting is a really cool option. So one of our other partners that we're working with and we're really excited about is a new organization that's popped up in Houston called the Houston Botanic Gardens. And they are working with us on Celebration Earth as well. So we'll have some opportunities to learn more from them as well.
We loved having them on the show not too long ago. That is just it's a paradise. If you look at it on a map, it's in kind of an industrial area and you zoom out and it's just this really cool paradise over there in Southeast Houston. So definitely guys, check that one out. Another one that we were really excited about, we're going to have on the show soon, is the Buffalo Bayou Partnership.
Yeah. They have, they do a lot with the Buffalo Bayous, not just Buffalo Bayou, but like they're all involved because all the bayous are intertwined. But it's a really great way to learn about how our water exits to the ocean and what we can do to preserve these bayous that are really important for kind of making sure flooding isn't as much of an issue in Houston.
Yeah, a lot of people are unaware that, anything that goes into the bayou goes into the Gulf. And if anything goes into the Gulf, that affects us. That impacts local businesses. That impacts, things that we eat in the Gulf, garbage, anything like that. So keeping, the bayou clean is job one. It's imperative.
Right. And there's a lot of animals that live in our bayous. So we want to keep it safe for them too. One time I heard someone say that they saw a beaver and I could not believe that. I was like, there is no way there's a beaver in our bayous. And I Googled it and I was like, well, It's not like the most common thing you're ever going to see, but they do exist. So
there's so many strange things in that bayou. I mean,
I
not to
live
mention
by
all
a bayou here very close. And yesterday or the other day I was sitting on my porch and a water nutria, it was a baby. And I was like, what is that? Like, I was like, is it a rat? And then I went, no, thank goodness it's a water nutria.
It's better than a rat. It's a nutria.
Yes.
There's also gators too, which gators are my favorite thing. And I'm saying that because I was at the George Ranch last week and saw a few gators too. And I got to impress some visitors with my gator knowledge. There's just, and then you also, one of the community partners is the Memorial Park Conservancy. And just a few days ago, they opened up that land bridge that people can drive through now too. I haven't gone to go do that yet. Gas is expensive, guys. And I haven't gone through to drive through it yet, but it looks really cool.
I grew up going to the Memorial Park all the time, so it has changed so much since I was a kid, but it's all to kind of preserve this area. They've gone through hard times of like drought, and you've seen the trees wither away, and then they've done a really good job of bringing them back. So it's important to keep these kind of conservancies around because they're helping preserve this nature that we sometimes take for granted. So I really appreciate all the work that they do.
We don't even realize how much nature we have within the city limits here in Houston. We have quite a bit between the, Herman Park and Memorial Park and the Audubon spots that we have. We have quite a bit of green spaces.
And the Houston Arboretum is located near Memorial Park, and they also have their own green space, and they're one of our community partners.
Yep.
And the Nature Conservancy does kind of the further out of Houston, but they also work on preserving that nature. So we're really lucky to be partnering with so many organizations that's their focus and that they're so successful at it too.
And if there's anybody out there that's listening or watching, yes, Houston is very, very green. I know that you don't think so because pop culture has told you that it's probably just a concrete wasteland. Well, yes, there is a lot of concrete here, but it's very green. Check out a map. Check out a Google map. It's very green here.
And I have an idea, Craig. They can explore our green spaces and all the biodiversity in this not concrete jungle by participating in the City Nature Challenge this year.
City Nature Challenge is popping off again, and every single year it's in conjunction with the iNaturalist app, which you should all have. We should actually just take a break now so everybody can download it. But download the iNaturalist app, log in, and join the City Nature Challenge because you will be astounded by the amount of wildlife. And City Nature Challenge also includes plants too. So it's not just creepy crawlies and things on four legs. It's also some of the plants that we see around here. And that's I think every single year Houston at least comes either in the top 5 or the top of the most place with the most diversity.
Missions and diversity.
Yeah.
It's like citizen science at its best, because we're asking for people to document what they see, because not every person who's super interested in science can be every place at once. So it's really cool to have that participation, and it helps you find out things like that there are eagles that live in Herman Park that we wouldn't necessarily always see. So it's a really cool way to see that as well.
And you're contributing to science, because this is going into databases. Scientists will help identify what you find if you don't know what it is. And you're contributing like a citizen scientist to a larger database of diversity.
Yeah, so you could contribute to, like, even in the weirdest way, a new subspecies or a new region that an animal or plant can be found that we just didn't know about before. Like, having extra eyes on this helps scientists figure things out and learn more things as well.
Absolutely.
And you can also you can start your birding career, folks, because you can also look up rare birds on the iNaturalist app, and you can make our team member, Mike Rathke and Johnny Himberger, very happy that you are birding.
The birdmen.
The bird guys. It's Celebration Earth, though, guys. It's one of my favorite things we do at the museum, and it's one of those. And I'm not. I don't think I'd be crazy for saying this, but it very much ties in everything that we do well at the museum into one month-long package, because we it sounds silly to say, but we really do celebrate Earth at the museum 365 24/7. It's a year-long celebration that we do, and we're always doing something for the Earth, so you can always depend on us to highlight ways that you can preserve this little ball of mud that we're all sitting on right now.
Big blue marble sounds better than ball of mud somehow.
I like ball of mud. Blue marble is a little too hoity-toity for me. I like ball of mud, or just moisture planet.
Moisty ball.
Yeah, moisty ball of dirt.
I hate that word.
Moist?
Yeah.
I'll say it tons of times. I know people hate it out there.
Yeah, you're just gonna kill your listenership by all that moist talk.
Hey, if you guys have stuck around long enough, I can say moist all I want. I'll say it every 5 minutes on the show, because you guys got to harden up out there. It's a moist world we got going on, especially in Houston, which frankly, hurricane season's around the corner, and we know how moist of a time that can be for Houston, right?
I guarantee you people have shut off the podcast.
Producer Johnny is chiming in now. You could bleep out anytime I use the word moist.
No, I'm keeping it. I'm going to
okay, you
amplify
got to keep it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's what is it? It's the kind of therapy where you get exposed to the
exposure therapy. It's like when you have back in the day, somebody didn't like clowns. They'd have to go learn how
clowns.
Make them go to clown college or something, or make them sit in a room with 20 clowns, which sounds really horrible. Anyway, we're talking about Earth.
Yes,
right?
I was going to say, we have talked a lot about living things that are not humans. So one of the other things that I forgot to mention earlier is that we're going to do a member event on Saturday, April 23rd in the evening. That's all about Kenya. So it's going to take a look at not only the country and its natural habitat, but also looking at the culture and doing some crafts and activities associated with that as well. Because another important thing about Earth is we have a lot of diverse types of people living here. I mean, we hope that humans are on Earth and that we aren't encountering alien species at the moment, but it's really cool to be able to see all of that diversity. And so we want to highlight that we're recognizing different cultures here as well.
Not only biodiversity, but cultural diversity as well.
Yes, that was
good at both.
That was way more eloquent. Sometimes words just get jumbled up.
And there's going to be a cash bar and a food truck there, guys. So I'm just sweetening the deal for people that are listening. If you're a member, it's a member event. There'll be a cash bar. There's going to be a food truck. I don't need to really push it any farther, should I?
Oh, no. And learning about a new culture. How fun is that? Or a culture you may know something about, maybe learning something new.
All right, guys, is there anything else we need to cover before I jump back out to this moist Wednesday here in Houston?
They should check out our website, because there is lots of other things that we didn't cover today, including things that are for educators. different kind of workshops and different things they can attend and get credit for their continuing education and better themselves and learn more. So there's a lot of other stuff on there. So we'll put that in the underneath section, right?
Yes. Of course, you can check out all of these events on our website. Go to hmns.org/celebration-earth. And everything will be on there that Kat and Kelsey and I have been talking about today. Guys, celebrate Earth with HMNS. There's no better place to celebrate Earth. I mean, unless you're like actually outdoors.
Well, and we've got like a month worth of celebration. So
and you can be outdoors with some of our things, so come see us.
Yes, guys, thank you very much for joining the show for us today, and we will see you out there.
All right.
It's really moist out there.